Electro-hydraulic actuator adjustments. Welcome back. If you're watching this channel, it's because you have a Classic Mercedes or you're interested in Classic Mercedes and you would like to know all of the fine technical details. So today in our Tech Tuesday video, we're going to talk about the electro-hydraulic actuator and all of the adjustments associated with it. Well, there's just one actually, but you know, there's a lot to it. So first of all, if you have a Mercedes with KE Jetronic injection, such as a 190E, a 300E, a 300SE, a 420 SEL, a 560 SEL, SEC or SL, you should watch this video. Because if your oxygen sensor is good, you know your ignition components are good, you don't have any major vacuum leaks, but you're still getting a stumble when you accelerate right off the line, or the car feels anemic at higher speeds, or the car just does not like to start, and especially when it's warm, this video should help you quite a bit. So this is the electro-hydraulic actuator. It is the part that controls the fuel mixture, and it is located on the driver's side if you have a left-hand drive car of the fuel distributor. So this is the left side of the car. In the United States, this is the driver's side. If you have a right-hand drive car, it's the passenger side. It is bolted up to the fuel distributor with 2 Torx head screws if it's a replacement version, or 2 flat head screws if it's an original part that has never been exchanged. Now, one of the things that people always ask me is, if I replace my EHA, can I still have a stumble and can I still have lean starting and lean running conditions? My response is yes. It is very often that you have to calibrate these things to the fuel distributor itself. Now, this calibration can be done carefully without fuel pressure gauges. However, I would recommend using pressure gauges and seeking a differential pressure between the upper and lower chamber of the fuel distributor of 0.4 bar with the EHA unplugged. But this is more about the mechanics of the adjustment than anything. So this is the side of the fuel distributor that you're going to see. There are 2 bolt holes here, and there's the plug here, so you can just unplug this 2-pole plug. And you're going to have 2 little screws right here that hold it onto the fuel distributor itself. This side you're not going to see is this side where the adjustment is. In fact, this is the surface where it mates up to the fuel distributor. There should be an O-ring here and an O-ring here for high pressure gasoline. And if the O-rings are old, I would suggest replacing them. I don't end up having to do it all the time, but it's very frequent for me to see O-rings that are just totally smashed down. So in order to avoid leaks or fuel smell, those O-rings are cheap and easy to replace. You should replace them. Now, where is the adjustment on this thing? It's right here below, not this screw, but below this screw. So we're going to remove this little slotted screw. And what you want is a screwdriver. This thing is actually fastened in here pretty firmly because it's got to retain up to 80 psi of fuel pressure, which is a lot of pressure. So you want a screwdriver that's going to fit it really good. Don't go and get your micro screwdriver kit out and try to take this thing out. You need this kind of a screwdriver, something that's got a wide head and just has the right amount of fitment, and it should be so good that it can do that, hold the screw in place. Nothing else is acceptable. Now when you get below this, what you're going to have is this 2mm Allen adjuster. So I'm going to explain to you how this adjustment works. All right, so you can do 2 things with the screw. You can back it in, and you can back it out or screw it in. And backing the screw out is going to lower your differential pressure, therefore making the mixture leaner. Screwing it in is going to increase your differential pressure, therefore making the mixture richer. So if you're having a stumbling issue right off the line and your oxygen sensor is good and you don't have any vacuum leaks, then you know that your mixture is probably too lean. So you're going to take this screw and you're going to start by making a 1/4 turn adjustment in. I sometimes tell my viewers to take things gently. This is an extreme case of adjust very gently. Be very gentle and only do your adjustment in quarter turn increments unless you're really familiar with it. But a quarter turn increment equals roughly 0.05 bar of differential pressure. A half turn, a half turn in equals 0.1 bar of adjustment. So 0.1 bar is a lot when you're dealing with KE Jetronic. This is 1/10 of a bar or 10% of a bar if you need me to explain it in other terms. Now, if you go too far, then you go back out. But what you don't want to see is you don't want to see black smoke. You don't want to see the car having a hard time processing its fuel. You don't want to see fouled spark plugs. What you will have to do, following this adjustment, is an adjustment of the idle mixture 3mm Allen adjuster, and you're going to want to adjust it. I usually have to turn them out after I make this adjustment. Depends on how your car was running before, but I usually have to turn them out, and that brings everything back into balance and makes the car idle smoothly. So if your car's not idling smoothly, you need to go back and adjust an Allen screw. So when you're done, you can turn this in. Put it back on the engine, tighten it down really good, start the motor, check for leaks around the periphery, especially back here where these O-rings go, and then test your car and check for stumble. If the stumble is gone, then you've gotten your mixture within the right parameter. You also want to check for hard starting, smoke at idle, fouled spark plugs, fuel economy over a long period of time, but that's where the adjustment is. Anyway, if you've enjoyed watching this video, please let me know, and let me know in the comments below. The other thing I'd like for you guys to do is consider supporting us on Patreon. We've really ramped up our equipment level, so we've gotten a nice new microphone, and we're filming this with 2 cameras instead of 1. We're just trying to do a great job for you guys. So our Patreon subscribers, thank you already. We really appreciate your contributions. And then finally, if you haven't liked, shared, subscribed, or tapped the bell for notifications, please do that also. Every Tuesday and Saturday, we're bringing you the best classic Mercedes content on the web. Enjoy driving your Mercedes Benz.